Hi, my name is Susan Lindsay, and I am here representing Carolyn, Loveridge and Lesley. We are lecturers from the MVLS Graduate School. Today I'm going to talk about our new postgraduate course that recently ran last year and how we adopted a triple helix transdisciplinary collaboration in its development. But first I want to give you a little bit of background about the course. Here within the MVLS, a large amount of the fundamental bedside research that we do is driven for the treatment of human disease. However, the reality is that we have to use animal models to allow us to translate that research to the bedside. And ultimately, translational research is predominantly developed using animal models. And that's because they're imperative for us to understand the biology and causes of human disease. Here at the university, we are within the top 10 organisations that uses animals for research purposes, with mice being the predominant species. We felt that within the postgraduate teaching curriculum, in vivo research skills and knowledge were somewhat underdeveloped. We felt that with limited exposure to these practices, students would have a narrow understanding of the critical role that it plays in advancing our world-class research. It's important to state, though, that at the university we are committed to the principles of the 3Rs, which is the replacement, the refinement and the reduction of animals in our research, and they are only used when there is no other suitable alternatives. However, it's important that our students understand these principles should they wish to go into an animal research career. When we think about animal research, there's a widely accepted reproducibility crisis. This is due to the tension that 70% of scientific studies cannot be reliably replicated, and this is fundamentally due to poor experimental design. As educators, we therefore must address this real-world challenge to ensure that we are training our next generation of scientists so that they can adopt robust research practices to ensure that we address this reproducibility crisis. When we developed the course, we thought about what are the graduate attributes and skills we wanted to develop in our students. We wanted them to be ethical, compassionate, adaptable and clear communicators. We wanted them to have an in-depth knowledge of the 3Rs and think about animal welfare and using animals for research purposes. We wanted them to have robust experimental design knowledge and to have appropriate training and skills and qualifications to allow them to enter the in vivo research field. We also wanted them to develop important hands-on experience. When developing the course, we thought about the graduate attributes and took a transdisciplinary approach. We integrated key insights from 3 independent stakeholders, from academic, industry experts who use these animals for research purposes, and we wanted to embed UK government training. This approach allows us to facilitate subject specialists who are adaptable, confident, but also ethically aware. In alignment with the transforming curricula of the learning and teaching strategy, we embedded work-related learning and we wanted to embed additional external accredited qualifications. We adopted experiential learning and assessment, and we wanted really to also tackle the social challenges linked to using animals for research purposes. We wanted to embed the professional skills development that we find within the learning and teaching strategy, and we went beyond traditional boundaries by offering students real-world training and additional qualifications, and we wanted to better prepare them for the workplace. We wanted to focus on developing skills that were highly sought after by employers. We contacted key university academic stakeholders, namely our named training and competency officer and our named veterinary surgeon. The NTCO is responsible for ensuring that anyone who works with animals is adequately trained, educated and supervised and competent. The named veterinary surgeon is responsible for ensuring animal health, welfare and the treatment of animals. These 2 academic experts were fundamental to the course design and helped teach within the course to ensure that our students were receiving the correct knowledge and information to work with animals for research purposes. We also reached out to key in vivo researchers and academic staff to also have them integrate in the teaching, but also to provide projects after course completion to allow students to embed taught skills. We also asked postgraduate students what type of skills that they were looking for had they taken an in vivo research skills such as this. We also wanted to embed training for the students, and anyone who works with animals for research purposes, procedural animals, are required to obtain what is known as a Home Office Personal Licence or a PIL. The Scott PIL training is part of that. That's the licensed modular training, and students that undertake the Scott PIL training can gain a UK legal qualification, and this was embedded within the course assessment. We also reached out to key industrial stakeholders to ask for their input. the National Centre for Replacement, Refinement and Reduction of Animals in Research, the NC3Rs, which is a UK-based organisation who's dedicated to helping the research community embed 3Rs technologies and approaches. And they have designed key data such as the Arrive guidelines and the experimental design assistant, which we embedded into the course workshops. We also reached out to Charles River, a global company that uses products and services to discover novel drugs and therapeutics. They are an industrial user of animals for research purposes, so it allows our students to see different perspectives of animal use, not only from the academic setting, but in the industrial setting. Ultimately, we use this triple helix of university, industry and government training to offer our students a unique experience, which is not typically standard practice. We wanted to enhance the student experience and support the learning and teaching practices and culture here at the University of Glasgow. We adopted a wide range of teaching activities. Students had experiential learning where they took part in practical labs. We had expert online workshops hosted by the NC3Rs, interactive lectures supported by the NTCO, NVS, University of Glasgow experts and Charles River, active learning tutorials. Students had a site visit where they could witness their learning and practice and take part in a 2-day site visit to Charles River. The Home Office Scott Pill training was embedded as part of the assessment so that students could obtain their own personal pill certificate. At the end, we also offered additional optional training opportunities such as Schedule 1 training, where students could take part in Schedule 1 animal euthanasia training should they wish to continue working in vivo research. In terms of the course achievements, all students successfully completed the course. 90% of students passed the Scott Pill exams and obtained their personal certificate. 60% of those students then went on to undertake an in vivo dissertation project, allowing them to embed taught skills, but to also have their own personal licence activated under a project licence. 20% of the students who completed this course last year have now taken up employment in an animal research field. When we look at student attainment, we can see that students who took part in Bio 5420 had an improved average course grade compared to their 20 credit average course grade in their programme. This suggests that embedding work-related learning and additional accreditation helps improve motivation and attainment. And this is something we want to take further by taking an ethics application. We have reflected on using transdisciplinary collaboration in the creation of this course. We believe it has numerous benefits. In terms of course design, it allows us to take a holistic viewpoint in our ILO creation. We could take on board that diverse expertise and create an innovative course. This allowed us to have real world and accredited assessment and allow us to create workplace ready graduates. In terms of the student benefits, it meant that the assessments were more relevant. They could develop skills related to the in vivo role. It allowed them to engage with employers and gain these transferable qualifications, making them workplace ready. The feedback from this course was very positive, and some statements made were such as hands-on experience in real-world applications, so students appreciate these relevant assessments. There's also benefits to the industries who take part in this collaboration. They get to hear the graduates' perspectives. They also allow knowledge transfer and really help ensure that we are creating graduates that are workplace ready. It also improves their employability and improves their visibility. But importantly, there's also benefits to the animal research community wider. It has allowed us to incorporate the 3Rs and have students learn this at an early time point. We can create adaptable, ethical and transparent researchers that have robust experimental design and again create work-ready skilled graduates. Ultimately, taking on board a transdisciplinary collaboration allows us to fulfil a curriculum for life. Our key recommendation is to collaborate with external stakeholders such as employers and industries to help create the course of the curriculum so that students gain knowledge and skills relevant for employment. Focus on adopting real-world learning and practical assessment so that they are better prepared to enter the workplace. You can adopt additional accredited qualifications and embed these as assessment to help support motivation and attainment. Adopt experiential learning so that supports the application of taught material. Ultimately, we want to integrate ethical and societal considerations so that students can then make an informed choice when deciding on their career path. Thanks for listening.